guys, Mike here from Motomule, and today's video is going to be the best one yet on this project. In the last video, we tore this thing down to the bare frame and completely welded all the joints. In this video, we're going to do what it takes to get this thing running and take it for a test drive. Before we go building an exhaust system and hooking up all the wiring to get this engine running, I want to figure out the braking system. Because I'm afraid that if we get the engine running and there's no brakes, it might be kind of tempting to take it for a test drive, and that's kind of a recipe for disaster. So we'll do the brakes first and then get the engine running. So designing a braking system for this vehicle is going to be kind of a challenge. This thing is not light, and we only have the leg power of a 5-year-old boy to stop this thing. So I don't have the advantage of a vacuum booster or a hydro booster or anything like that. So we're going to see if we can't design a brake system that a child can operate and safely stop this thing. And I got two different plans in mind. The first plan is to use the disc brakes and calipers at each wheel. So my first attempt will be to just make a really long lever for the brake pedal and give him all kinds of mechanical advantage. See if we can't make something that can stop this thing. If that doesn't work, I will go to plan B. And plan B will be to put a disc brake rotor on the output of the engine. And then you'll have the mechanical advantage of going through the differentials, and it'll just give him way more power with the brakes. The reason that's plan B and not plan A is I don't like the kind of rickety feel that will give, you know. The brakes are going to be going through the drive lines, so going through the U-joints, through the axles, and any slop in all of that system is just going to be felt in the brakes. And the other disadvantage will be that if you unlock the hubs on the front end, your brakes then will only be on the rear wheels. So that's why plan A is to try to make the calipers at each wheel work. So let's try it. Okay, so I flexed out the suspension just to make sure that this upper wishbone wasn't gonna knock my brake master cylinder off when it flexed. So, just wanted to double check that. Okay, I'm gonna let her back down. No issue. All right, we've got the beginnings of a brake pedal up here. Has a nice long throw. See what's going on below here. I'm going to use this plate that I plasma cut as the actual brake pedal itself. And I want to add some traction to the face of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dimples in it with these dimple dies. Now normally when you put a dimple in, you dimple it from one side and then you flip it over and hit it again to flatten out, because it kind of distorts the metal when you do the dimple die process. So for this, I'm actually only gonna hit it once and let it distort the metal. And you'll see how it'll kind of create a curved surface out of this flat plate by putting those dimples in it. So let's go ahead and let's get her done. Because I only hit the dimples from one side and didn't flip it over again and flattened it, it kind of domed this. I mean, if you kept going, you can imagine you could make a big bowl out of something like this. But this gives you traction of the face of those dimples, plus it kind of curves it. This gives the pedal a nice contoured surface. So what do you do when you build an incredibly heavy vehicle and you want a child to be able to stop it without power brakes? Well, you build a 18-inch long brake lever. Little mechanical advantage. Okay, Lyle, show me how the brakes work. Oh, are they just gonna make that noise too? Oh, are you gonna do the turning brakes? All right, guys, this is pretty exciting. We have got a working brake pedal that stops all 4 tires, and we've even got steering brakes so we can lock up one or the other rear tire. So since we don't have rear steer, hopefully this will add an element of fun to the driving and make it a little more capable in making tight circles. So it rolls, it steers, and it stops. Now it's time to make it go. Let's create a skinny pedal using the same process we did for the brake pedal. We'll put dimples in it without hitting it a second time from the back to flatten it out. Now we have a fun little skinny pedal to match our brake pedal. All right, let's take a look at some of the things we've gotten completed. You already saw the brake pedal. So the throttle pedal is now in there, all mounted up. And then I added a little dummy pedal over there just to kind of rest your foot on. And then got a shifter here. That just has a linkage that kind of goes down through the floor and just connects to the original foot shifter on the quad engine. So pretty simple but effective. And then we've got a couple exciting things that happened over on this side. We've got a battery mounted in place, and the most exciting, the radiator. And I actually was able to get it underneath the floor. So that's pretty exciting, because then I was thinking I would have to put it up here on the cage. So this is good. I even got the radiator hoses on there, so it's all plumbed in, ready to go. So now it's time to do the wiring. And then also put in a temporary gas tank and a temporary exhaust, and we should be able to fire this thing up and actually see it move.
It's like you're in first, and then you shift the second, and you shift the third, and you shift the fourth, and you shift the fifth. And you go.
What do you mean you don't like my wiring job? I just basically did the bare minimum so that I could try starting it. Obviously the wiring won't stay this way. I won't have the stator and CDI C-clamped to the frame. So I just am being impatient and want to hear it run. All right, it's the moment of truth. Definitely got butterflies in my stomach. I've got the battery in there. The radiator's all mounted, full of coolant. I got a fuel tank mounted up there. Not sure if that's what I'm going to end up keeping, but hey, it'll allow me to get it started. And then I just stuck an old dirt bike muffler poking out the side of it here just to make sure it's not painfully loud. You know, if I start this thing in front of the kids, it can't be that loud or they'll never like it. So, all right, I think it's time to try starting it. Gas back on, ignition on. It's time for a test drive. Alright, so the wiring is still a nightmare. I just mounted kind of some of the handlebar controls up here on this side bar. I got to figure out a dash before I can really know how to wire it all. But what I did is, you know, ignition on, and then when you turn it to lights on position, I just wired the controller for the power steering into that. So if you turn it to headlights, it turns on the electric power steering. Plain ignition, no power steering. Lights on, power steering.
You have to take the steering wheel off?
Yeah. Okay, Jace, you a little nervous?
Yeah.
Is this your first time in the Gravedigger?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we'll fire it up, and you just putt around, okay? Go slow for me.
Okay.
sold right, listed for sale. 10 years old and it looked like hell. All my friends said don't, I replied oh Lord. It's an F-150 long bed Ford. It stores my tools, can haul a load, but it drinks up gas and now I'm broke. I jacked it up, put on lifted off-road tires with V-logs on. Dude, it's got a little attitude, ain't it grand? It does the mud as well as the sand. It defines me who I am. It's more than practical, it's a statement. If you ever think I'll sell it, good luck. American made, and it's my truck. Before I was just another guy. Look at me now, I'm way up high. Might look like I have it just for show, cause it'll dust up in it dirt road. I jacked it up, put on lifted off-road tires with V-logs on it. It's got a little attitude, ain't it grand? It does the mud as well as the sand. It defines me who I am. It's more than practical, it's a statement. If you ever think I'll send it, good luck. American made, and it's my truck. It stores my tools, can haul a load, but it drinks up gas and now I'm broke. Well, I jacked it up, put on lifted off-road tires with V-logs on. Dude, it's got a little attitude, ain't it grand? It does the mud as well as the sand. It defines me who I am. It defines me who I am. I jacked it up, put on lifted off-road tires with V-logs on. Dude, it's got a little attitude, ain't it grand? It does the mud as well as the sand. It defines me who I am. It's more than practical, it's a statement. If you ever think I'll sell it, good luck. American made, and it's my truck. It's my truck. F-150, baby.
That was actually pretty fun.
It's pretty cool, huh? The more you do it, the better it'll get.
Jace, get out of the way, please. Good job! Woo!
Well, here's some evidence. Look at those tires covered in mud. Honestly, the boys are a little scared of it, but the thing actually performs pretty well. I've got all kinds of little issues to work out. The jetting is rich, you know, there's all kinds of little things to finish, but it's pretty exciting to see it move under its own power.
Okay, boys, where can people find us on Facebook and Instagram?
Moto Mule! Look at Moto Mule!
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and share this video with your friends. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.